Welcome to the Super Sentai Brothers. This is episode 27 of License to Carranger, the internet's best and only podcast dedicated to Gekisou Sentai Carranger. Every week we watch an episode of the show and we share our thoughts with you, the listener. My name is Matt J. With me as always is my co-host and brother Dave. Dave, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well, man. It's beautiful out. I can sort of taste fall on the horizon, which is, I've got like 3 different metaphors there, so that's fun. So I can taste fall on the horizon. I can also taste a skunk has gotten busy outside the window of my house. So I can also kind of taste that.
It's been a heavy skunk season this year.
And that's less cool.
But
okay, Matt, I'm going to say something insane. Obviously not like if I'm like close up on it like this little much, but like a distant whiff of skunk is like, I think I might listen. I admit that I might be crazy on this. It's not that bad. Like I'm like, oh okay. Like it's sort of like an acrid. Like I wouldn't want to eat it or anything.
No, yeah. Like
if
there's a skunk like a block or two away and you get a whiff of it, honestly it's not a smell that I look forward to, but it kind of makes me nostalgic for summer nights as a young man, like as a child.
That's maybe it. It's not that it's a pleasant smell, but it's not awful, and it's like, oh, summer. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you know it is pleasant.
It's a little bit heavier than that right now, so less cool. But no, overall, it's great, man.
Yeah,
things are cool. Things are cooling down. I had some sort of fall-ish dinner the other day. Like we braised some beef.
Ooh,
and I just sort of was reminded about fall foods. Like squash and like hashes and like braised meats. Very excited about it. We got some oxtail today.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Matt.
Very cool.
Oxtail.
Cool. Right on. Well, you know what else is very cool? Is episode 27 of Gekisou Sentai Carranger.
Oh yeah, no, that's also very cool. I was still thinking about oxtail though.
It is called The Crossroads of Transferring Away from Home. It was written...
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. It was written by Yoshio Urasawa. Its original air date was August 30th, 1996. And I really do like that we are sort of roughly following the same like calendar schedule as this show.
Well, we are now. Now, the thing is...
Right, it took us 5 years to get here.
Right, we can't miss any more episodes though now. Like now we're on. Like we have to stay on schedule.
Like there's a bit in this episode, and we will talk about it soon. There's a bit in this episode where like they're sitting around and eating dinner and they're like, it's the last cold ramen of the year. Like fall is starting, summer is over. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like I don't eat cold ramen. I've never had it. It sounds delicious. But like if I,
I mean, we literally just had a conversation about
exactly.
This
so
thing,
like it was really
reverse.
Cool to watch the show sort of in not real time, obviously, because we're 23 years behind.
In sync.
In sync is a better way to say it. Anyway, that's talking about the episode, and we're not going to do that yet, Dave, because first, as always, shining in the heavens, there are 5 stars. What is our first star of the week?
So, Matt, our first star of the week is, the other day, Beth and I took the kids down to Zoma, which is one of our favorite restaurants, and it's that Ethiopian place. I think I've talked about it on the show, right? It's Ethiopian, it's great. And so we go down.
It's the only place you go out to eat.
It's, it's pretty much the only, I mean, not the only place, but okay, listen, here's the deal, Matt. The food is it's delicious food, and it's so reasonably priced that I have difficulty not gauging all other restaurants against it. Because, like,
I think we have talked about that on the show before.
Have we? Okay, yeah. So, like, one Zoma is a meal at Zoma, and if I go to a restaurant, I'm like, I could have had 1.5 Zomas for this. Like, this was not worth it. Like, this is not good.
I mean, hey, listen, Dave, you are talking to a man who went to the same diner for lunch every day for 2 years. I get it.
Right, you get it. Listen, so yeah, last time when I left, they did not say, thanks for coming. The waitress, not even the owner, the waitress was like, see you soon. So like, we were walking by one day with the kids, I was just like on a walk and the kids were like, Injera restaurant. And I was like, well, yes, it is the Injera restaurant, but like, we're not eating, like we're just on a walk. And they were like, go in, say hi. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, like that was such a good sentence. Now I feel like we have to. So we get in and say hi. And I'm like, we're not here to eat, guys. We're just saying hi. And they were like, no, get it a snack. And I was like, well, that was also a really good sentence. So like, I guess we can get a snack. I don't even know what to. So I go to the owner. I'm like, could I get one injera, like to go, I guess? And he just says, oh yeah, sure. Like, no problem. So he goes in the back and comes out with this injera. I was like, what do I owe you? And he's like, like, he gives me this look as though like, dude,
how dare you?
How dare you? Like, it's fine. And he goes to the kids. He's like, you can pay me when you're older. Like, we're cool. So anyway, but their place is closed on Mondays. I was like, it's family run. You got to have a day off. And so here's what I discovered, because we had never gone on a Sunday evening before. And what I find out on Sunday is that if you order food on Sunday evening, they are generous with the servings.
Oh, like, we don't want it, please take it home with you?
Yeah, basically, like, it won't necessarily keep till Tuesday. Like, we will have to throw it away. Like, you just have it. Because, like, we had ordered, and then, like, once our food had come out, they just started bringing out more food. And I was like, just to be, like, we didn't order this, did we? Did somebody accidentally order extra food? And they were like, oh, no, you didn't order this. Like, it's fine. You just have it. I was like,
we just assumed you would want to eat all of this.
Now listen, they were right. They know us. So now here's the problem. Here's the problem for which I was not prepared. Because no one's ever there's this chickpea stew, Matt, and it's called Shirawat, and it's amazing. And no one's ever given me as much Shirawat as I cared to eat, except for this time. And so I just kept eating it. And so here's a problem for which I was not quite prepared. I'm a dude who eats like a lot of fiber in my diet just because of like the way I eat. Like, we just eat a lot of vegetables. So like, I eat a very high fiber diet anyways. So, and I eat at Zoma a lot. Zoma is Ethiopian food, is like solidly 65% lentils.
It's dense.
It's dense food. And of the 35% remaining, like 20% of that is like cabbage and like chickpeas. And so I just was having a grand old time. And even I was not, I don't want to get into the details, Matt.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I also do not want you to get into these details.
Even I was not quite prepared for, let's just leave it at that. I was not quite prepared for the quantity of Ethiopian food that I had consumed.
Let's just say this was dangerously close to this star imploding and becoming a black hole.
Yeah. There was definitely a fear of implosion at. Yeah. Listen, I'm going back. Like, please don't get me wrong. Like, I would eat there. I would be eating that food right now if I had the option and we were not doing this podcast. It's their slogan is one taste and you're ours. And I was like, that's sort of, I think we've talked about this on the show.
That's ominous.
That's ominous. B, turns out fairly accurate. So anyways, outside of me thinking about the next time I can go and eat Zoma, Matt, what is our second star of the week?
Dave's second star of the week is that I, after a very long time of not having one, recently bought myself a camera.
Okay.
Now, when I say
you
not
have
having
an iPhone,
a camera,
right?
Yes. But here's what I realized about having my phone on me at all times, is that, like, I use the camera to take pictures of things.
Right.
But the things that I take pictures of are not things that I want photographs of, for the most part. They're like, if I'm walking down to the grocery store, I take a photograph of a book, like a page from the recipe book. Or if
this is like, got it. So
you know what I mean?
You're not photographing stuff. You are using this as like a visual note aid. So you do not have to like type out the recipe. You're just like, I'll take a picture of it. Yeah, kids do this in class perpetually.
Yeah, like that kind of is just what I use it as. Or, the phone needs to have a camera so I can do like Skype or whatever.
Yeah, right. It's got it. But you are not. The point is, if a cell phone advertises it's got the best camera of any cell phone, this does not matter to you.
Right. Like, the thing is that I do not delete a lot of pictures. I have had a smartphone now. This is my third one, I think. And, like, if you go into my photos, they go all the way back to when I first got a smartphone. And, like, it doesn't take that long to scroll through them. And a decent portion of those are screenshots of, like, comic book panels and stuff that happened in Ranger. Like, there's just not a lot of photographs going on. And so I realized, like, what I actually wanted was I want a camera that, like, produces physical pictures. So that I would, A, like, have a photograph after I pressed the button, and, like a physical artifact of it, and B, like, actually have to think about, like, oh, I can't just, like, take a bunch of stupid pictures, because then I'll run out of film. Like, I need to, like, actually be conscious of what I am taking photos of, or I will never have another photo in my life.
This is a principle that I think has a lot of validity. Like, hey guys, real quick, like, get in gear. Sometimes it's worth it to make things slightly more difficult for yourself, just so that you value them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, this is a psychological, life hack, brain hack, friends. Make stuff harder for yourself, and then you'll automatically care about it more.
Yeah.
No, this makes
you will
total
convince
sense.
yourself, like, well, I wouldn't have made this more difficult on myself if it wasn't worth it, so it must be worth it.
Yeah, you're hazing yourself, effectively. But it works. Matt, I'm 100% on board with this plan. This is brilliant.
So what I got, and also because we have our annual gathering of our college friends upcoming next weekend, I wanted to have a camera for that. I thought that would be a good excuse for me to pull the trigger on it, because I'd been thinking about it for a little while. I bought like an instant camera, like a Polaroid, not actually a Polaroid, but like that sort of thing. And what I've realized, Dave, A, is that I really enjoy it, and B, that I have completely forgotten how to take a photo on a manual. I mean, this is not like a manual camera, like a SLR sort of, fancy thing, but just like
those words don't mean anything to me.
Oh, single lens reflex, I think is what it means.
Oh, wait, I forgot about this. You took a photography class.
In college, yeah. It was at the community college when I was in high school. So it's not something like that. Like, it's very much a point and shoot, but there are buttons on the back for, like, putting it into different modes. And, like, oh, if it's up close, you need to put it in this mode. If it's far away, you need to put it in that mode. And here's the button for the self-timer. And, like, it's even got a little feature where it'll do a double exposure, so you can, like, take two exposures on the same, piece of film.
Oh, very fancy.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, camera.
So you can take, like, fake ghost pictures.
Yeah, basically. And then I took, like, 3 or 4 pictures. I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm terrible at this. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, but I think it will be a fun thing to get back into a bit. Anyway, Dave, that's our second star. Speaking of fun things, do you want to hear the third star of the week? It's not a long one.
I would be delighted to.
Okay, the other day, I was out in the world, and I saw a guy walking down the street he was carrying 2, like, 10 or 15 pound free weights.
Love it.
Just, like, walking down the street, sort of like...
Okay.
Just, like, casually, like, moving some weights around as he was walking down the street.
Dude, 10, 15 pounds is not that's a pretty decent workout. Like, after a fairly short period of time, a 15-pound hand weight gets hefty.
Yeah, so, like, kind of a jacked dude. But,
good for him.
The best thing about this, though, is that what he was wearing was just the straight up, like, Bruce Lee Game of Death yellow with black stripe jumpsuit. Just, like, wearing that, walking down the street, lifting some weights. He might have been listening to some music. It was amazing.
Hey, Matt, real quickly, now, I don't know, this is probably like a low-quality Amazon one, but you can get that for $30.
Really?
If you are curious.
I think I would have to be significantly more jacked than I am now to pull off that particular look.
I saw a dude walk. I was at, I forget where I was at. I may have been Whole Foods. And there was a dude. And this dude, now listen, man, this is hard. This is hard because as a Clevelander, I am not prepared for people doing things ironically.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like, that's just not... Like, it's just not the vibe of Cleveland. Like, it's just not a thing. Like, people in Cleveland, like, we just don't do a lot of stuff ironically. Like, we do a lot of dumb stuff, but it's not ironic. We're just doing it because
we mean it when we do dumb stuff.
Yeah. It's genuinely dumb. So I saw this dude, and it caused a minor short circuit because I was like, surely nobody would be rocking this look if it weren't a joke. But it's just like Thursday afternoon, so I don't think it is. I'm not. This dude had. This is. I can't. He looked like the villain of like early 90s skateboard oriented film.
Okay.
This dude had maybe late 80s, early 90s. This dude was wearing like teal shorts. I don't remember what his shoes were. A belly shirt. So like
like a crop top.
Yeah, okay, not quite. I would say like the bottom of this shirt like barely grazed like the waist of his pants, right? So like if he sort of was like hunched over, but if he was standing, it was like it wasn't enough to be a belly shirt, but it was definitely trying to like I was not tantalized, but like also this dude, your dude was very jacked. This dude was not jacked.
Okay.
Which, like, listen, statistically speaking, most people aren't, but this is not like a peekaboo six-pack situation that this gentleman was in.
Gotcha.
Sunglasses, like neon, I don't remember what color, I was just struck by the neon, like plastic frame sunglasses, a mustache, and I don't know that I would full-on say a mullet, but like in that mullet adjacent.
Dave, this sounds like quite the getup, but you have to try a lot harder than that to get me to look twice. I feel like you and I live on different sides of town. Like, I feel like I might actually know that guy.
Well,
like here's the sort of thing that makes me look twice at an outfit.
Listen, if you see that dude, Matt, or a dude that looks like him, if you wouldn't mind asking him if he was at the East Side Whole Foods a few days, that would be ideal. I would like to know.
Sure thing. Dave, the thing that makes me look sideways at an outfit is like a couple of months ago, I saw a guy walking down the street wearing a king's cape. You know the sort of cape that a king would.
Yeah, like an ermine collared. It was purple and regal and maybe flowing behind him.
It was red.
Okay, also acceptable.
It was blowing in the wind. It was definitely like it was a costume version of it, right?
Okay.
Like it wasn't a nice cape.
Did he have rest of a king's outfit?
No. He was just like he just had a regular outfit underneath. He wasn't like, dressed otherwise weird. He was just rolling down the street with this huge billowing king's cape in the wind. So that's the level I'm playing at here, Dave.
Listen, listen, you do live in the part of town. No, that makes sense. Listen, I'm trying to find some fault. Sorry, I'm sort of like looping back around on this King's Cloak dude. And, A, it's making me think about King's Quest, which is a great series of games.
Of course it is.
B, I can't find any fault with this, Matt. This is a bold decision, and I applaud this gentleman for it. So, sartorial wonder aside, Matt, what is our fourth star of the week?
Dave, speaking of kings, you recall, of course, that I am the king of summer.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
And if you will cast your mind back to the original conversation about me being the king of summer, part of it was that I had planted a couple of like vegetable plants, the vegetable kind of plant.
The vegetable, as opposed to the meat one? Yes, the vegetable, yes, I recall.
Well, as opposed to the flower ones.
Okay,
I don't know why
still
you went
vegetable,
to meat.
but I got it. Yeah.
Anyway, so...
Like in 20 Questions territory, they would both fall under...
Sure, but what I'm saying is I didn't plant a tree. I planted tomatoes.
Right, I got you.
Tomatoes, some Thai basil, and some banana peppers.
I remember I enjoyed that Thai basil.
The Thai basil's doing pretty well. The banana peppers have not produced much. Dave, now that we're sort of getting in towards like the harvest end of that season, this tomato plant is gargantuan. It has like completely taken over like one half of the garden plot that I have at work. Like, it is so big that it outgrew the cage that, like the little like tomato trellis cage thing you put it in. It outgrew that and started collapsing under its own weight. So I had to put another cage next to it to like feed some of the like branches and stalks through so that it didn't just like completely tip over. It is madness.
Is it producing like a ton of tomatoes, or is it just like a weirdly giant plant?
It has produced a ton of tomatoes. They are like, today I picked like 6 or 7 off of it. It's a cherry tomato plant. I should have
Love
specified.
a cherry tomato.
Yeah, so like I picked like 6 or 7 off of it, and like those were the ones that were red, but it did not make a dent. Like taking those 7 off did not make a dent in the total number of tomatoes on this plant. It is just covered in green tomatoes that I have to assume are about to all just pop. And I do like, if it continues to produce like further into the season, I do not know what I'm going to do with all of this stuff.
Let me tell you what
I'm going to eat it. Tomatoes are delicious.
I was going to say, let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to bring some of those tomatoes over to my house. I love cherry tomatoes.
Got plenty of Thai basil though still. Only 3 banana peppers the entire summer, but these tomatoes are like, it's like I should take a picture of it and put it on the Twitter feed, because like it's kind of hard to describe the size of it. It has overwhelmed there is a tomato plant that is next to it that has not produced any tomatoes because my tomato plant has just like absorbed it, basically.
Okay, now see, that is weird to me, because like, what's the possible difference? You know what I think it is, Matt? In some way, this tomato plant is aware of its owner.
Right, it's aware of my regal nature.
Yeah, and it's like this tomato, it just recognizes there's some sort of synergy happening here where the tomato plant recognizes your regal nature and also is like fed by it. You've created a snowballing King of Summer tomato reciprocity snowball here. In
any case, it's delightful. I ate one or two of them
this
today.
Is an ideal situation.
They got that good tomato flavor. You know how sometimes you get tomatoes at the store and they have a vague tomato flavor?
Yeah, it makes me angry.
No such thing. This is a full-on tomato. Anyway, I'm just talking about how much I like tomatoes, which is not like compelling content. Dave, what is our 5th and final star of the week?
So our 5th and final star of the week, Matt, I can't do this. I'm only telling you this so that you can tell me to stop. Because I did have a sort of errant thought about how cool it would be to write a Powered by the Apocalypse pulp fiction, like pulp-oriented, pulp action role-playing game.
Dave, you might be asking me to talk you out of it, but wait, hold on. Give me just a sec. Okay, yes. After a brief stretch, I am now holding in my hand my copy of Adventure, Tales of the Aeon Society. White Wolf
such
pulp
a good
adventure game.
Okay,
no, it's an extremely good game.
Well, it's a good game in theory. Mechanically it's troubling.
It's a 90s White Wolf game. They're all
right,
janky.
But no, Matt, listen, I got as far as like starting to put together a spreadsheet, and like I need someone to tell me to stop. Like, I am mid-project on, quick plug, again, if you are interested, I've heard from a few people, if you are interested in playtesting Ghost Sentai Heroes, do. email me at gosentaiheroes@gmail.com, and I will get you the info. I'm super excited to hear what people have to say about it. Anyways, I'm literally mid-project on this other gigantic thing.
Right. Please, everyone, please email Dave and get this playtest from him. Because if he is not sufficiently distracted by that project, he will start a new one, and it will only add to his misery.
Yeah, like I can't do it in my life. Anyways, but I was starting to think about it like, what would you have? You'd have like a man of mystery, a man of tomorrow, a detective, a femme fatale. That's kind of as far as I got. And then I feel like you should have like a villain one. Like, you're a bad guy, but you're still sort of a good guy kind of thing. I did start to make a spreadsheet, as I said, sort of like detailing out like what gear they used and like who does what and like what sort of base resources they have. It's great. Also, I found like there's got to be somebody out there who's publishing, I'm hoping, like republishes a bunch of this old pulp stuff. Because obviously, like, some of it I had heard of. Like, you know, everybody knows Doc Savage and everybody knows The Shadow and Conan.
Sure.
You know, like a Green Hornet, I think, was originally a pulp guy. But then there were like a ton of other ones that I had just never heard of. And I was like, dude, this guy sounds rad. I want to read up about this dude.
I feel like a ton of that is probably like in the public domain, and you could find like a PDF ebook that you could download for free.
Man, I will look into it. Anyways, Matt, that's our fifth star of the week. I just needed to get this out of my brain a little bit so I could stop thinking about it, and hopefully somebody would tell me not to do it. That's all I got.
Okay, well, that being out of your brain, why don't we put something in your brain, specifically episode 27 of Gekisou Sentai Carranger. We are going to take a break, we are going to watch the show, and we are going to be right back. Okay, welcome back. So, Dave, Carranger's just good all the time now, right? Is that what I should be assuming?
Man, I'm really hoping so. This is very, very good.
We are on a hot streak.
Yeah, we for sure are. So, this episode opens up with a calm stream. It's peaceful, it's bucolic, and then we see Koban Base in the middle of nowhere. It's not even on, like, fully on. It's like a dirt path. So I don't know why Signalman is there, because there's no traffic. He says...
This is like his catchphrase at this point. Because he says it, Ichitaru says it, like, they always set up Koban Base where no one is around, and then he just stands there and says, like, nobody here.
So we see a mailman, and this mailman just rolls up. This is like the world's greatest. I need the saga of this mailman who is delivering mail
on a bike.
On a bike, first of all. We are about to find out, delivering mail from space to a spaceman with no fixed address. Like, this dude, who apparently, Signalman, is willing to drive up to Hokkaido to deal with law infractions. This dude could have been traveling the length and breadth of Japan on a bicycle looking for Signalman. I mean, like, probably just Tokyo, but Tokyo is still a very large place.
Yeah, really big, actually.
So... and he rolls up and he's just like, Signalman, a letter for you. He gives Signalman this letter. Signalman opens this letter up. And this letter, it's not from a ranger. It's not from Dapu. It's not hate mail from the Bozoke.
Nope.
This letter is from his son, Sigtaru.
Yes,
his son.
Signalman has a son. And a wife.
That
has never been mentioned.
They live on Planet Police. And they're also robot police people.
Yes, but one of them is very small and one of them is a lady.
Oh my god. And so we see them. Sorry, we know they're robots because they have like Signalman style robot heads. They are in all other ways just dressed like people. Like, Signalman's wife is just wearing, like, mom jeans and a cable knit sweater and has a robot policeman head. And so Sigtaru has written this letter. And he says, Dad, like, I miss you because you've been gone for who knows how long. Oh, so the other thing I realized about this is that, like, Signalman did not... Like, this is like a racial... Like a racial bonus, you know, like if you're a half elf, you get extra skills and like +2 to charisma. Like, Signalman is not he did not like choose to be a policeman necessarily. He's from. This is like a Legion of Superheroes. It's like a Legion of Superheroes situation. Like, everybody on this planet is police, and he's just like the best one, I guess. What I really love is that Planet Police is actually 3 planets. It is like a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one that are all arranged in space to look exactly like a Japanese traffic signal. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So Sigtaru writes this letter, and he's like, Dad, I miss you because like you've just been gone, I guess. And he says, I really want you to come home because like the school sports festival is going to be soon. Like when school starts, we're going to have this thing. And I want you to win the 3-legged race with me. Like this, please come home so we can do this thing as like father and son and be victorious. Yeah. He, like, Signalman is thinking about this. He's like, oh my gosh, I would love to go home. He's having, like, visions of winning the 3-legged race. He sees his wife. He gives her a kiss. Like... But he's like, no, but I can't go. I can't abandon my mission. And, like, he is so distraught that he, like, tumbles over and knocks over his motorcycle and breaks it. Yeah. Like, he is so... like, tortured by his inability to leave this mission and go spend time with his wife and child. He just, like, collapses in anguish. And again, and knocks over Police Speeder, which is is the name of his bike. So we go to Pegasus Motors, and things are a lot happier there. As Matt said, they're all sitting down at a table. They're eating the last cold ramen of the season, and they're like, oh, cold ramen, so exciting. And I had in my notes, I'm like, Doc, you could eat cold ramen anytime you wanted. But then I was like, it's probably not as good because I was thinking about my own thing about braised oxtail. Yeah. So they're like, this is it. This is the good one. They start tucking into their ramen. They're all like eating out of each other's bowls and stuff. Like it's a hectic scene. And yeah, it is Signalman weird. Rolls in. Well, I say rolls in. He walks in, sort of like hauling his bike with him. Right. And he's like, hey, like, I need you guys to, I need you to fix my bike. Ordinary citizens who are not the Carrangers, I need you guys to fix my bike. So we go from there to Barabarian, and it is the annual Bozoak Festival. Cool. And which is nice. It's good to do that sort of thing for your employees. It is. President Dynamo, he's like, dude, we're kind of in the middle of a recession because of this whole Carranger situation. Like, having a festival is just the right thing. This will, like, lift everybody's spirits. We'll get back into gear, and then we'll kill the Carrangers. We are then, so Beauty Zenet walks in, and she's like, hey, I brought over, I don't even remember why she says she brought him over. She's like, I brought over the Bozoak's best pizza maker, XX Milano. Yes. I think she brought it because she forgot, like, she was not in the loop for festival stuff. So she's like, oh, well, what's this week's plan to kill the Carrangers? She shows up with XX Milano. Yeah, she shows up with XX Milano, and President Gynemo's like, no, forget that guy. That's stupid. It's festival time. And then XX Milano is effectively like, it's a me, XX Milano. Like, he definitely does. It's very, very strange because he is full on doing, like, he's doing a bad Italian impersonation, but it just sounds like he's doing the It's a Me Mario voice.
Yeah, but like it's just weird to hear someone. It is weird for me, someone who speaks English with an American accent, to hear someone else speaking Japanese with an Italian accent.
Yeah, it's pretty funky. So everybody's ignoring XX Milano now, and he's like, I have to make a pizza pie out of the Carrangers, and like this will prove something. This
Right,
will
President Gaimo is like, the festival is more important than the Carrangers, and it's more important than pizza, which I took personal offense to. And Zanek agrees with them. She's like, oh, yeah, actually, if it's festival time, then forget this guy.
Yeah. So we go from there down to Earth.
So Dapu hears the alarm, right? The Bozok alarm. And he runs out to tell the Carrangers, but the problem is that they're working on Signalman's bike. And so they can't just transform and run away, because then Signalman would know that they're the Carrangers. I have never understood why they don't want him to know that they're the Carrangers. That is a conceit of the show.
Right, everybody else, and so also, of course, Dapu can't let himself be seen because he knows that, like, Dapu hangs out with the Carrangers.
Right, and also that he's a weird alien. Although I guess Signalman is also a weird alien. So he might not necessarily notice how weird Dapu is.
I feel like everybody would notice how weird Dapu is. So, Dapu, he sort of, like, puts on a very bad disguise, and he just sort of walks in front of Pegasus Motors and be like, a Bozok has been seen, everyone. If anybody around here cares about that sort of thing.
He's got, like, sunglasses and a big straw hat on. And Signalman's like, what's up with that guy? Do you know that guy? Like, oh, yes, he is our neighbor.
Our weird neighbor. And so Signalman is like, oh, well, if there's a Bozok, like, I need to go deal with that. So you guys need to fix my bike right now. So Natsumi rolls over, and she is, like, looking at the bike, and even her amazing repair skills, she looks at it, and she's like, this is going to take, to herself, she's like, this is going to take a while. Dapu leans over, hits it with the old car magic. It's immediately fixed. Signalman is like, you really are an amazing mechanic. This is fantastic. He rolls it out, and then Dapu's like, guys, you do need to go deal with this Bozok. So they all hench in. Off we go.
Yeah. No, by the way, there was a conversation between Signalman and the Carrangers while they were fixing his bike. And they said, oh, you're a business bachelor, which, as I understand it, means, like, you're not a bachelor. You have a family, but, like, your job is in a place where your family isn't, so you just don't live with them. Which was, like, it struck me as very weird, but it did not seem to faze the Carrangers even a little bit.
Yeah, they were, I mean, maybe that's just a lot more common. I don't know. So anyways, so we go from there, and the Rangers are all driving around in Dragon Racer and Dragon Racer, Pegasus Thunder. No, I flipped that. This is all very bad
audio. It's
audio.
Dragon Thunder and
Dragon
Pegasus Racer.
Okay, try that again.
Or Pegasus Lightning? I don't know. Oh, are we going again?
Oh yeah, I was terrible. You would think I would know the names of these guys. Man, I need to appear flawless on this show. Otherwise, everyone will stop listening. That's how it works, right?
Oh yeah.
If everyone doesn't think that a producer of media content is flawless in all elements of their lives, they just stop, right? That's how
the thing is, you're fine. You're not on Twitter. They're not going to at you. They're going to at me, and then I'm going to ignore them.
Oh, okay, killer. So let's just roll. They're driving around.
They're in cars.
They're in cars.
They are the Carrangers. That makes sense. They're driving around in their cars.
Yeah. So Pink Racer's on the car navi. And they're, like, looking for whatever's happening. We flash over. We see Ichitaru just eating pizza. And it reminded me how much I would like to get down on some nice za.
That would be good. Got a good pie. Yeah.
So they find Ichitaru, and they're like, Ichitaru, what's up? And he's like, not sure. This Bozok just gave me a pizza and looked pretty good, so I'm having it. Here's what's amazing. I don't know if he says a Bozok gave me a pizza, but we've already established Ichitaru is very, very familiar with the Bozok. Like this kid knows a Bozoke when he sees one. XX Milano is very definitely a Bozoke. Like, so Ichitaro just sees this dude who is like definitely a monster who is here to like destroy and or enslave Earth. But the guy's like, pizza? And Ichitaro's like, yes.
I mean,
yes,
I
will. Thank you.
Also, like, Ichitaro is a dude who has, like, faced down a bunch of Bozoke, and he knows that the Carranger, like, if he can't deal with the situation himself, either Signalman or the Carrangers will probably come save him. So he's like, this guy's probably trying to blow up the Earth, but no reason I can't enjoy a piece of pizza. We'll deal with it. So they're like, okay, well, the Carrangers say, this is clearly bad. We don't know why yet, but it's bound to be bad, so let's go figure this out. Oh, by the way, on their way to go find this Bozoke, they were driving down the road, and they zoomed past Signalman when he was driving on his motorcycle. He was upset by this, because they should not have passed him without his permission. This is the driving rule, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not really...
Maybe they passed without signaling, which as a signalman, I'm sure he would be furious at.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure where Signalman falls in on... Like, maybe space traffic rules are different? Because, like, it's definitely not... Maybe it's illegal in Japan to pass a policeman without permission? I don't know. Anyway, none of this is. So,
well, no, it is relevant, because, like, when Signalman shows up, they get into an argument, and the Carrangers are like, dude, why can you not chill? We are trying to stop this Bozoke. And Signalman says, like, no, you don't get it. Like, you say you are here to fight for the peace, but you don't follow the rules. Like, this is why I have to stay here, because, like, you bozos can't be trusted.
Right. Now, he doesn't say, and that's bumming me out because I miss my son. He just sort of leaves it at that. But
right, he storms off.
Yeah. As he's walking away, he inadvertently drops the letter from Signal Sun, and Ichitaru sees it. And he reads it, and he's like, oh man. So then we see Signalman is sort of hunting down XX Milano, and XX Milano's like, dude, this guy's closing in. I gotta figure something out. He's like, I know. So he just rolls up on Signalman and is like, hey, dude, I saw a bunch of pizzas over there violating traffic rules. And then we see that.
Well, we see exactly that. It's a bunch of pizzas. We just see that.
We see a bunch of pizzas just kind of on their own, like Jay scooting. They don't walk because they don't have feet, just sort of scooting across the street and rolling past I don't know why I'm elaborating. It's exactly what he said it was. It's a bunch of pizzas violating traffic rules.
And Signalman's like, oh my gosh, I must go stop these criminal pizzas.
Right, so he dips, and then the Rangers show up on XX Milano, and they're like, what? Like, they look at this dude, and they say, like, they're just like, what's your plan, man?
They're like, we don't know what your plan is, but you did just trick Signalman into leaving, so that probably means that you're a villain.
Like, so you're a bad dude.
I guess it's time to stop you. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, what about this? And he pulls out a pizza. And then I forget who it was, but one of them, and I wrote this down.
It's Yuko, I believe.
If I was scared of pizza, I wouldn't be an Earthling.
Yeah, she's just like, this is we crush this all day, every day. Like, this is our thing. Why would you possibly choose pizza to threaten us? Dang, I want pizza now. Man.
Yeah, it would be good.
Sounds good. So anyways, he's like, oh yeah? Well, how about this? And then he just throws it at them, and it explodes. So that's incredible.
And then he just summons like this swarm of flying, exploding pizzas. And they're like doing like backflips and like dodging around all of these pizzas. It's a very good scene. It's something that I want a GIF of so that I can like text it to Pizza Club when it is time for us to assemble.
That would be very good. The next thing that he does, he's the controller Like from Marvel Comics, the very
Sure,
dumb
the Iron
villain.
Man villain.
Yeah, the very dumb Iron Man villain. He pulls like a...
Yeah, he puts control discs on people, and then he gains physical strength from how many people he has controlled.
Yeah, there's actually like a really... The controller is a villain in one of the more recent Iron Man arcs. Someone else is fighting them along with Iron Man. And they're like, all right, Iron Man, so like, what's this guy's deal? He's like, well, he puts control discs on people and then he gets super jacked. And they're like, is that it? And Iron Man's like, yeah, that's basically it. Like, he just gets real jacked. And then he shows up to fight the controller. And the controller's like, I'm so jacked. And Iron Man's like, what?
Yeah, we know.
Like, what's your plan, dude? Get super jacked and then what? Like,
And then just punch the Iron Man.
Like, that seems to be the end of the plan. So anyways,
he's a weird villain because he always seems like super sinister and insidious while he's doing the controlling part. And then when it gets down to the fight part, it's just a fight. Like, it's just a fight.
He just uses it to get real jacked. It's so dumb. So anyways, although I guess XX Milano is sort of worse because he uses control pizzas, which are discs, but he does not get super jacked. But he uses they're like mind control pizzas. Like he throws them on but he throws them on Dragon.
Yeah, so I don't think that they're mind control pizzas so much as they are like he controls the pizzas and the pizzas attach to the wheels like they're hubcaps and they attach to the steering wheel like a steering wheel.
But the lights, I would agree with you, Matt, except that the lights turn green.
Their headlights do turn green, indicating that they have gone over to the side of villainy.
Yeah, clearly mind controlled.
Which I really love because every time a human person gets mind controlled, they get like extra eyeshadow, and that's just this but cars.
Like, what can we do? Like, we have to do something with the eyes so everybody knows that they're mind controlled. But they know where. I really hope that this was like a very puzzling question where they were like, is there a way we can get eyeshadow on an SUV? Like, can that happen? Let's exhaust every avenue. We just can't make it work.
But then we would have to like spray paint the car, and we don't want to spend that much time and production budget on it.
Like, I guess we'll just have to do green bulbs. So that like they blast, like the cars blast the Rangers like into a warehouse, and then there's like a very weird cut because I didn't really see it happen, but all of a sudden they're in a giant pizza oven.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Well, yeah. And they look down and they're like, this floor is weird. It's dough. It's very much dough.
Right, like
and
you were fighting a pizza man. You have just gotten thrown into an oven-shaped box with a circular soft thing on the ground. Like, get it together, guys.
Yeah, so then XX Milano like sort of pops up over the top, and he must have some sort of like Star Wars style like invisible force field, right? Because like they try to blast him and it doesn't work, and he's like, "I'm gonna make the Carranger pizza," and they're just like, "Well, okay."
Well, that seems bad, I guess.
Like we're not into that, and he like shows them the recipe, which he has taken the time to write out on like an old timey Italian style, like mid-70s Italian restaurant style menu. And oh man, total side note. Speaking of Italian food, I did just see what I think is the first episode of Good Eats: The Return, and Alton Brown does chicken parmesan, and it's real good, looks real good, and I'm very excited for that show to be back. Anyways,
chicken parmesan.
I know, right? Dave. This is a terrible episode. It's not. It's great.
No, this is a great episode. We're doing a great job. I'm just hungry.
There's some just killer prop work where they have just created like giant pizza toppings, and he is just sort of like hurling them. And this is great because I think for any other monster, if he were hurling these toppings at them, they would be like exploding and they would be weapons. But in the case of XX Milano, they are literally just giant pizza toppings.
Right. So they have all, like, they get covered in the toppings and, like, buried in the cheese and the sauce. And then he turns on the oven, and now they are all baking in the oven.
Yeah, now, I do want to say, it is already established in canon that XX Milano is the Bozook's best pizza maker. I think we have to say, at this point, the Bozook are very bad at pizza because pizza does not go into a cold oven and then you heat it up. Like, with the pizza already in there. Like, you really need to have a preheated oven. Ideally, like a pizza stone or, like, something in the oven that will be absorbing heat to radiate it up into the pizza as soon as you put it on there. This is, like, a key element of quality pizza making.
Yeah, and also, this oven might be a microwave. It's kind of hard to tell.
Well, it does... There is a lot of very visible fire. So, man, Hey, Matt, let's pause for a second, real quick, bud. Does your microwave generate actual fire?
Yeah, no, it's great. I put everything in my big cast iron pan, and I put it in the microwave. You gotta cook stuff in the cast iron, Dave. That's how you gotta get a good sizzle on it.
Yeah.
Do not do this
man,
thing,
you sure do,
dear
pal.
listeners.
So, yeah, please do not do that thing. That's a full-on joke. So we go back, and Ichitaru, he catches up with Signalman, and he gives him the picture, and he's like, sorry, maybe I shouldn't have read this, but, like, your son definitely wants you to come back and see him. And are you going to go back? And Signalman does everything but say, like, no, and it's fine because I have you, my new adopted son, Ichitaru. He just says, like, no, I am not going back. And Ichitaru's like, I mean, you want to go back, right? Like, you want to? Maybe? And Signalman's like, I smell smoke and a pizza smell, and then it just dips.
Away from my feelings. So he runs to the warehouse and he sees XX Milano. Because XX Milano has now taken the pizza out of the oven and now it's just like on the ground on this street. And XX Milano is about to like cut it into slices and eat it. And that's where this episode goes from like, oh, this wacky pizza guy to like, oh, you're about to like eat the pink racer's leg, and that's bad.
Yeah, also, I mean, the Rangers are definitely like alive and conscious and trapped in cheese.
And that's got to be a bummer for them.
Yeah, they are definitely bummed out about it. I mean, 100%. There's somebody out there who wouldn't be, but it's not the Carrangers.
Right. So Signalman shows up. He shoots them out of the cheese. I'm sorry. I've missed some stuff. I'm jumping ahead in my notes.
Yeah, so they're trapped in cheese. It's not you didn't miss much. Like basically, Signalman attacks, and XX Milano sort of like dodges a little bit, and he's like, "You can't stop me because I'm like mind controlling these cars, and I got the Rangers and a pizza." And
see, this is the great part that I missed, because the cars come to attack him and they're speeding towards him. But
yes.
He is a human traffic light.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Like, I did not realize that like he had this power, because he just like stands up and like the traffic signals that are part of him just flash red. And he just says, "No reckless driving. The law of the universe is that red means stop." And they just stop.
Yeah, the cars stop, the pizzas fall off of them, and their mind control is broken by the power of his red lights.
Like, could Signalman just do that whenever he wants? Because that's huge.
Yeah, the fact that we're only discovering this now in episode 27 is kind of wild.
Dude, I love it. I hope he has yellow light powers and green light powers, too. I'm just excited to find out what they are.
Yellow light powers are pretty boring, probably.
Maybe they just like, no, dude, maybe it's like a slow time thing. So anyways, Signalman's like, all right, like it's basically time to show off now. So he does like a flying flip And like as he's flipping over the pizza, he uses like precision laser blasts to cut apart the pizza. All the Rangers get out. They all attack. They drop Giga Booster. I do really like this. XX Milano does eat Emo Yokon, but it's an Emo Yokon pizza.
Yes, he has prepared it. It has many pieces of Emo Yokon.
Yeah. So he goes giant. They summon Cyrender. They summon RV Robo. The one cool thing about this fight that is a little bit unusual is they lead with Yellow Vehicle Spin Kick. And I just dig it anytime a giant robot does something other than,
like kill someone with a sword.
Yeah, kill you with their sword. So they do Siren Vulcan. They do Gekisou Cut. And then that's the end of XX Milano. So we end the episode.
Yeah, after the fight, like, Signalman is down in the park, and he's looking, I mean, as much as someone with a plastic face that does not move can, he looks forlorn. And Ichitaro
does a pretty good job.
Yeah, Ichitaro walks up to him, and they're sort of standing together for a minute, and the Carrangers walk over, and they say, "Oh my gosh, Signalman, like, no matter how often we, like, squabble, you're always a reliable ally. Thank you so much for all your help. Let's continue to fight the Bozoke together. This is great." And Signalman is just like,
internally.
It's great. Thanks so much. I'll stay and fight with you.
Like, you guys are the best. And then internally, he says, "A stalwart ally. I cannot abandon them. Please understand, my son." I was legit blown away that was the conclusion that we got on this. Because I'm American. And if this had been an American show, it 100% would have ended with Signalman taking a break to go see his wife and child.
Right.
But, like, nope, it's not. This is a Japanese show, and that dude is staying at his job.
It's very important, Dave. Although, well, you did. Have you seen the name of next week's episode?
No, I have not, nor do I want to know what it is.
Okay, well, I will not tell you, but watch this space.
Got it.
So
then...
and then Gambit attacks them.
I was going to say that exact thing.
A bunch of exploding playing cards just come out of nowhere.
It is, of course, Zelmoda, who has, if you recall, a playing card sword. I didn't know that was quite as much of a motif as it is. But now that I think about it, if you look at his head, he does have sort of a weird, like, stylized playing card kind of head-looking thing. And he just straight kidnaps Ichitaro and teleports away. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, like, you think the episode is over, and they have, like, resolved all the issues, and then all of a sudden, nope, it's a cliffhanger. Anyway, it's a really fun episode. I'm looking forward to next week's to see how this resolves. But Dave, although it is the end of this episode, it's not the end of our episode, because first, of course, we need to determine where XX Milano lands in the Creature Royale.
Okay.
He's an evil pizza man who has evil pizza skills and makes evil pizzas.
Yeah.
I love him.
I love him. Like, this is one of... Man, like, Carranger's really knocking it out of the park. This one is special. This is... Okay, so I would say he is going to kind of sit pretty close to the top of monsters that are in high spots based purely on, like, having a really cool, like, theme, right?
Okay, well, I mean, here's the range on that. The top range of that is numbers 6, 7, and 8 on the list, who are Time Space Mammoth, God Noodle, and the Tomato Great King.
Okay, so...
2 of those are also food-themed.
Yeah, now they have great themes, but those 3 also were particularly fantastic episodes, I thought. This is a very good episode. I don't think it's as good as, like, Time Space Mammoth, where, like, Raita goes back in time and, like, finds love and, you know.
Okay.
Whatever.
So then where are you looking?
So I don't think he's as high as any of the monsters that are in there, because like they really have like heart and character. So like he's not like Hungry Wolf Demon.
He's not Dryer Dimension. He's not Barrack Cactus.
Right. Like he's not up there yet. And there are just some like there are some monsters that are above this, but like he's not quite up there. But like into the realm of like I would say Sniper Cat, Lipstick Songstress, not necessarily that high, but like in that realm. Like top 40.
Okay, well, if you're looking at top 40, then number 40 is Ila Quinta. If I'm saying that right.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ela Quinta was like the legendary Godspeed that Zelmoda manages to like summon. It's like Bozoak Flash, if you remember him.
Oh, yes, he summons Flash from the Speed Force. That was also extremely good.
Okay, so
maybe he goes below that.
He might not be quite that good, but right below that is Baramicron, Meteor Bem, and Sarugami the Ninja Monkey.
Yeah, the next Bozoak done from there is Vivi Gorin, the Olympian, and I think I like XX Milano more than him.
I think I do. I think that's actually the spot. I think he doesn't quite make the top 40. I think he's right under Ela Quinta, but he is cooler than Baramicron.
Yeah, definitely cooler than Meteor Bem. Meteor Bem was in like really, really good episodes of Jetman, but Meteor Bem himself was more of a like he was a plot device more than he was a monster. And like XX Milano has a stupid accent, and it made an Imo Yokan pizza, and that's great.
Yeah, so he comes in at spot number 41.
All right.
Good
and
for
that
you,
Dave,
XX Milano.
That Dave is going to do it for another episode of License to Carranger. Before we finish up here, I'd like to remind you all you can email the show at supersentaibrothers@gmail.com. You want to get any updates on future episodes or check out what we're talking about on Twitter, we are at Super Sentai Bros. If you like the show, please remember that shining in the iTunes review section, there are 5 stars. And if you gave all of those to us, that would be very kind of you. The Super Sentai Brothers are a production of Retrograde Orbit Radio. If you'd like to listen to any of the other great Retrograde Orbit Radio shows, you can do that all at retrogradeorbitradio.com. Just recorded a 3.5-hour episode of Spectre talking about Thunderball. It was really fun. You can find that there or wherever.
Is that a record
finer
for you
podcasts
guys?
are made. It's probably going to get edited down a little bit because I had to like take a break somewhere in there. So it might not be our record, but it's close, and it was a doozy. Thunderball is a thunderball, in fact. Anyway, once again, Dave, what was that email one more time for getting a hold of you for your gameplay test?
Yeah, again, if you're interested in playtesting this Sentai-oriented role-playing game that I've put together, we'd love that. And the email address is gosentaiheroes, no punctuation, at gmail.com.
All right, and with that, once again, we are the Super Sentai Brothers. I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
And we'll see you next week for the greatest show on Earth.